Welcome to Pocket Ronnie, where we save your mathematical life.
Okay, we are solving for the unknown. Here in this problem, 1D13, k is our unknown. We are going to solve for k, and we are going to get rid of fractions. So we're going to solve for the unknown, getting rid of fractions. So my first suggestion is to make all your mixed numbers into improper fractions. Okay, 3 times 3 is 9, plus 2 is 11, so that's 11 thirds. Rewrite your minus 5 twelfths k. 4 times 1 is 4, plus 1 is 5, so that would be 5 fourths. Now to get rid of your fractions, you want to multiply each term by something that will make your denominators cancel. Okay, so you can go through the process of making common denominators, but in my opinion, it's easier to get rid of fractions. So in the world of algebra, whatever you do to one term, you have to do to every term. So you can see if we multiplied every one of these by 12, our denominators would cancel. This is like saying multiplying 12 over 1. I'm putting in parentheses to imply multiplication. If you multiply these fractions together, you can see your 3 and your will cancel into the 12. Okay, I'm going to multiply this by 12 over 1. I'm going to multiply this one by 12 over 1. So when you do this 3 cancels into here, and this becomes a 4. The 12s cancel, that's a 1. This 4 goes into 12 3 times. What you have left is, there's a number here that's still multiplied to this numerator here. Numerator to numerator. Your parentheses tell you multiply. So 4 times 11, 44. You can see your denominator is just 1. 1 times 1, this would be a 1. So that's like 44 over 1. No need to write that. 44 divided by 1 is just 44. Now over here, still have your subtraction sign. 1 times 5, 5. There's no denominator. And don't forget your k. And then here, 5 times 3, 15. Now everything is on one line and you don't have any fractions. Now you're just solving for the unknown. Okay? Now this is just algebra. So for the world of algebra, subtract your 44. You want numbers on one side, letters on the other side. Don't forget your negative sign, negative 5k. So now you have 15 minus 44, you're still in the negative. 29, now you're dividing. That's multiplied. Negative 5 is multiplied to the k, so you need to divide it away. Do that to both sides. That goes away there. You have k left here. A negative divided by a negative is a positive, so that would just be 29 fifths. You can leave it as an improper fraction, or you can turn it back into a mixed number, but always make sure this does not reduce. 29 fifths does not reduce. Alright, now let's look at 1E13. 1 2/3 equals negative 2 1/4 plus 1 3/5 a. My recommendation, always change your mixed numbers into an improper fraction. 3 times 1 is 3, plus 2 is 5. That will be 5 thirds. Negative 2 1/4. Ignore your negative while you're changing it to an improper fraction. 4 times 2 is 8, plus 1 is 9. 9 fourths. Now put your negative back in. Plus 5 times 1 is 5, plus 3 is 8. 8 fifths, and then don't forget your unknown. Okay, now I've got the denominators of 3, 4, and 5. Basically what you're trying to do is find the least common multiple that all of these numbers can divide into so that your denominators go away. Okay, well you can look here. 3 and 4 will divide into 12, but 5 won't. 4 and 5 will divide into 20, but 3 won't. Okay, 3 and 5 will divide into 15, but 4 won't. So your worst case scenario is you can multiply all 3 numbers together. 4 times 5 is 20, times 3 is 60. So that means I can multiply every one of these by 60, and that will make my denominators cancel. So the worst case scenario is to multiply all 3 of your numbers together, your denominators. So if I multiply this by 60, I can make any number a fraction by putting it over 1, and then essentially I am multiplying a fraction to a fraction. Whatever I do to one term, I have to do to every term. So I have to multiply this one, 60, and multiply this one by 60. I'm putting parentheses to imply multiplication. So now you can see that my denominator is going to cancel. 3 goes into 60 20 times. 4 goes into 60 15 times. 5 goes into 60 12 times. Alright, so now what do we have left? We have our denominators are 1, and here I have 20 times 5. My parentheses implies multiplication. 20 times 5, 100. Negative 9, do not forget your negative. So negative 9 times 15, a negative times a positive is a negative. That'd be a negative 135 plus 8 times 12. So 8 times 12, 96, and don't forget your A. Now this just becomes algebra. Numbers on one side, letters on the other side. My A is already over here, so I'm going to leave it. It doesn't matter if your unknown is on the right or the left. Okay, I'm going to take this and move it over here with my numbers. So I'm subtracting 35, so I'm going to add 135. Maybe I said 35. I'm subtracting 135, so I'm going to add 135. Means I have to add it to this side as well. That goes away there. Over here, I have 235 and then 96A left on this side. This is multiplied, so I have to divide it away. So then I'm left with 235 over 96. You can turn that into a mixed number, but just make sure it doesn't reduce. I'm just checking to make sure it doesn't reduce. I'm pretty sure that does not reduce. That will reduce by 3, but that won't. That reduces by 5, but that won't. So I'm pretty sure this is as far as it will reduce. And I'm going to leave it as an improper fraction. Okay, now we're going to solve for the unknown, but we have decimals. So we're going to get rid of the decimals. How do we get rid of the decimals? You're going to multiply by a multiple of 10. You're going to be multiplying these by 10, 100, or 1,000. How do you know which one? It's real easy. The one that has the most decimal places, you go by that one. Like in this problem of 1D14, the most decimal places is this number with 3 decimal places. This has 3 decimal places, 1, 1. So you use the largest decimal place, 3 decimal places. Well, you pick the one with the same number of zeros. 3 decimal places, 3 zeros. So we're going to multiply each one of these by 1,000. Remember in algebra, whatever you do to one, you do to the other. So if I multiply this first term by 1,000, what will happen, it will move my decimal place 3 places to the right. 1, 2, 3, and that will become 1,203. But if I multiply this by 1,000, I have to do everything to 1,000. I use parentheses to show multiplication. I also have to multiply this by 1,000. So 1,000, 3 zeros, means move your decimal place over 3 times to the right. 1, 2, 3. You have to put a zeros in here to be placeholders. This will go 3 places to the right. 1, 2, 3. If you don't believe me, you can use your calculator just to double check yourself. So this new number now becomes 1,203. Don't forget your variable. When you multiply 0.9 to 1,000, moving your decimal place over 3 and adding your zeros, that becomes 900. Don't forget your negative. When you move your decimal place over 3 times 0.6, it becomes 600. Now this is just algebra. Okay, move my whole numbers to the other side to get them with my numbers. I'm adding 900. I need to subtract 900 to both sides. So now I got 1,203H. I'm in debt 600. I'm in debt more 900. So I'm in debt 1,500. I need to divide this away. So H equals, and you can turn it into a mixed number, or you can leave it as an improper fraction. I think that reduces, yep, this reduces by 3. So they each reduce by 3. Leave your negative. That should be 500, and this will be 401. And then I don't believe that will reduce anymore. The book might not show this actual final reduced answer. So, but always make sure that this reduces. You can leave them as improper, or you can turn them into a mixed number. Okay, now let's look at 1E, number 12. Okay, again, we're going to get rid of the decimals. How do you do that? You look at the highest number of decimal places. 1, 1, 1. So they all have 1. So it's either going to be multiplied by 10, 100, 1,000. 1 decimal place, 1 0. There you go. So you go by the decimal places. 1 decimal place that has the most number of decimal places is 1, 1 0, which is 10. So I'm going to multiply each one of these by 10. I just show it up here just to, and I use parentheses just to show that I'm multiplying. If I do it to 1, I have to do it to all 3. So I just write my 10 above here with my parentheses. Okay, multiplying negative 0.7 by 10 is going to move my decimal place over 1. 0.8 by 10 will move my decimal place over 1 to the right. 1.2 by 10 will move my decimal place over 1 to the right. So my new number here when you multiply 0.7 to 10 is negative 7a. 0.8 will become 8a. 1.2 becomes 12. Okay, you already have letters on one side, numbers on the other. So now you can combine your letters, combine like terms. Negative 7a and a positive 8a is a positive 1a. 12. And a 1a, same thing as a. And there you go. There's nothing to divide away. Already solved for you.